Folks, let me quickly call Stuart to find out whether he can record. All right, let me bring up the PDF. Anybody else needs to get in? Okay, cool, good. We have some, yeah, I think we have everything resolved. Okay. Good. Sorry for the wait. We have a student that did not get a review and will get a review today. So Desiree, yeah, I see you're here. Let me pull up your document, okay? Can you all see the PDF on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's slowly showing up. All right. Is it too small? Okay. So, oh, that's not it. The other one. Yeah, this is the one. Alrighty, so we have a few questions about this area. Got confused. Wouldn't there be a lot of, yes, there would be some contours that would need to be changed. So if you look at the contours, look at this area, you would see some of your proposed contour are now overlapping with your original contours, and their contour numbers are conflicting with each other, right? So you have 8 at the end of, now be sure to extend it to the end of the pavement. So basically all these 8, 7, 6, 5, and maybe even more needs to be moved. And here, to determine how many that you need to move, basically you need to maintain the minimum distance between two contours to keep the slope below the maximum allowable slope, right? And when when the proposed and the original don't overlap anymore, they don't conflict with each other anymore, that's where you stop moving the contours. So that is about how many contours that you would need to move. And another thing I went over with Tuesday's group is that always try to connect with existing contour to minimize the movement of the contour. So for instance, if you can connect back to original contours from somewhere in this area, then try to achieve that instead of going back to the road. A lot of, a portion of this will not need to be moved. Okay, so you would need to look at the contour numbers. Actually, when developing the draft, is not a really bad idea to make the original contour heavier or darker so that you can easily see which one is which one, so that you would not connect to the wrong contour. Okay, so that's the basic principle. Now let's zoom into this area because I can see a few other issues that have to be solved before we get into adjusting the connection of the contours. So, all right, that's a little too big. Get that maybe just about right. So for the first thing that you look at is, where is my original contour at the entry drive? If this is 13 and I move my 13 over there, that's okay. This is, yeah, it's a little too light, these original ones, so it's a little hard to see. One thing, from connecting the south contours here, you'll notice that I'm actually doing a lot of connecting to the northwest. If I can rotate, for instance, if I can rotate some of the contours in this direction, would it make it easier for me to connect back? That seems like a reasonable move to try to make it easier to connect to your original contour, right? So the V-shaped contour here can be rotated to make it easier. I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure if currently you have an issue, a space issue in this area. If you don't, then this change is not required. If you do have an issue in this area in terms of, oh, I am exceeding the slope, or I'm not actually, I don't actually have enough space for a swale, yeah, which it does seem like you are running out of space for the swale. So if this is fine for not exceeding maximum slope, we still need, oh, okay. We still need to create a swale like this, the edge of your pavement, and like that. And this one needs to go to your edge of pavement. Now we're seeing the space problem. So we need a swale in this area to try to divert water away. So you can see this is a mound, a small mound. The water will drain toward your parking lot, and you would need a divergent swale in this area between the vegetation and your parking lot. And now it seems that we're running out of space in this area. Okay, so one way to get to try to address that would be rotating the V-shaped contour in to kind of to the direction shown by the green lines. The other way would be rotating or even moving. Yeah, I think rotating might make more sense. We're kind of try the green lines first. and do a measurement of this line, this area, and see if it's about 25 or that's too thick. Do a measurement of this distance to see if it's at least 25 or 20. If that's the case, then I think we should be fine just by rotating the V-shaped contour to the green lines that I just drew. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so that's one thing for the south part. For the north part, we would again want to extend this line. Come on, I need green. We want to extend that green line to the edge of the pavement. And this one needs to go to the edge of the pavement. So all the contours on the paved space needs to be straight. Okay. And then that's where we connect. So these points are where we connect to, try to connect back to original contours. And then we go one by one to find out what's the way to connect back with minimal disturbances. For instance, if I don't need to move that part, I don't, right? Because I don't need to keep that flat slope in that area because it's vegetated, it's not paved. It can get pretty steep. It's fine for that area to get steep. So if my 13 is over here, yeah, you're creating a pretty flat slope. No, for me, I would try not to move 13. If I don't move 13, then 13 stays here, your 12 will be a little too far away from your 13. So your overall slope of this area will be a little too flat. Yeah, it's the reason for not moving this 13 is that creating the flat slope here is not that necessary. And creating a pretty steep slope on the road, it's also not that necessary. So if I were to change the design, I would keep the 13 roughly where it was, and then I would the 12 would be the one that I start to move. So basically, I would switch the contour number to 12, 11, 10, 9, and 8. So that way you would not have a really too flat area, in the entry drive. Is that clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Cool. Okay, good. So suppose that we're doing that. We're keeping the 13 at the entrance and we're switching the contour number by 1. So then this becomes 12. Yeah, I want to get rid of that. That becomes 12. Okay, 12, now it's over here. Because we're not on the parking lot, the shape of that one actually does not have to go with your ridge line, does not have to go this direction. It can change according to what 13 is and what your the lower one, the 10 would be. No, sorry, 11 would be. Okay, so it could create a gradual transition from the original 13 to the 11. That's actually the starting of the parking lot. We can keep that one the same pattern as your V-shaped contour, but the 12 doesn't necessarily need to. So now let's go ahead and start to connect the 12. It's hard to see where it is. Wow, is kind of, it's actually here, right? Yeah, 12 is actually really close to your 13 originally. So basically I will need to look for where 12 is at. It's actually there. So maybe, yeah, that's the way. And then I start my little swell here, and then I try to connect back to my 12 over here, close my 13 right at the boundary of the vegetation, changing the color. And then I would just try to connect that one to my 12 over here, right? Basically, I look for where the original contour is, and then if there's a portion that I actually don't need to move, then try not to move it. Yeah, I wish the existing lines are more darker, so it's easier to see and easier to explain. But you get the concept. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to try to address your question about the BFFE. So suppose that we are at 8 actually here. Then this one would be 98 coming out of your backyard. So your next count will be 97, and you'll just need to check whether you're connecting the 97 to the proposed 97 at the back. Right? If I were to count the 5, 0, you have more. Seems like you have more than necessary. Oh, okay. Scratch that. This is actually a retaining wall. Your 98 is there. Basically, you measure 50 feet in this direction. That's where your 97 would be. If that's your 97, this just needs to be connected back to 97 here. Yeah, I'm looking for, it's hard for me to see where the 7, oh, that's 0, right? Yeah, that is 0 or 95. 5, 0. Yeah, you have more. And then 9, 8, 7. So that's how long your wall needs to be on the west side. Well, again, definitely try to keep the maximum allowable slope. That will shorten your wall on this side. We don't need a retaining wall at the back of the building. We only need the wall on both sides of the building, here and there. Okay. Yes, yeah, you had the question about, do I still need to move contours there? And slope of, no, both sides can get to the maximum allowable slope. And try to keep the contours on the pavement straight. Again, this one would need to be extended to the edge of your pavement. So your swell actually may look like something like that. All right. Yeah, you don't need to touch your, okay, if that's the 9, actually, this is the, if that's the 9, actually, that's not the first one that forms a swell. This would be. Yeah, try, I definitely get in CAD at this moment to, if possible, try to move your swell center line away from your building a little bit. So yes, I recommended that we rotate your contours this way, but not too much. If too much, then your swell, it's hard to direct your swell center line away from the building. It will end up being like that, right? So getting into CAD will help you decide a good angle to rotate these contours for.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I have. Any additional questions about this one?
No, you answered all my questions.
Cool. The other thing, no, one last thing, pay attention to this area. This area, no, if you don't have enough contours, it might get too flat. So after you adjust the contour numbers in this area, just check to make sure this area is not less than 2% slope. Okay?
Okay.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Are we transitioning after I guess these crits? Should we be I guess translating this to drawing to the CAD before we
Yes.
submit? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Exercise 2 final would be in CAD. Okay. And then cross this out. And we'll move forward to today's drawings. Okay. I believe this is Kristen's.
Hi. Yeah.
Hey, Kristen. Hey. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Okay, I see your questions. Is the length of the retaining wall sufficient? Yeah, for this one, you will check the BFFE and the backyard elevation. And how do I determine how many contours? Yeah, this is a good example. Having the existing contours dark enough so we can see exactly how many contours you need to move is a good thing. So I can see that you, with your current contours, you actually created some pretty good space for rain gardens in this area. So I'm not going to recommend tightening them up at this moment.
Oh,
We
cool.
don't need, I mean, if we don't need rain gardens, then I would say tighten these up. So for instance, doing something like this, make them as tight as 4 or 5 feet, right? But because your water is actually draining to this direction, draining toward. So you would need rain gardens in this area to intercept that water, right? So that's why I think we can keep the current spacing for these contours and keep moving the ones after that to make sure that there is no conflict between these contours. So how do we start doing that? We'll do it one at a time, right? After this point, we don't need any rain gardens anymore.
Right.
I think we would need something here, not necessarily there, because that's pretty steep. So the last one could be tightened up to like that. Yeah, like that. And then that's 7, right? 6 and 5. 6, 5, 4, 3. Looks like they all need to be moved, to a certain degree. Once you get to this, yeah, it looks like you could be back to normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So just those minor changes in the back.
Right. The other thing is, so your 12 is here, the 13, your 11 could be, yeah, because water is not draining to this area, so I actually don't need that to be flat. So actually I can get there. Then my 10 could start somewhere here, because again, this area, I don't have water. Basically there would not be an opportunity to receive water based on your current contour direction. So they can be tightened up in this area a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, so that one can go like this, and this one can go like that. Then yeah, here I start to create a little bit more space, right? I would leave some space there.
Okay, I
And,
see. Yeah.
yeah, and then this one I can start from actually here. I'm getting a little too tight, but yeah, that's the one that I just drew. So if I scratch the other one, this one, yeah, I created a little bit more space, you can see, so that I don't need to move as much. I only
Mm-hmm.
create space where needed, where there needs to be a garden, this area and that area, right? And everything else in this area is really tight, and that's okay. And actually that helps. I don't need to move as many of those anymore.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, that makes sense.
good.
I think that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, second thing is keep them straight. Now, if you
Okay.
want to create a crown, we can do this. Ah, that's not what I want. Even, I think maybe doing that is not a bad idea, right? Try to make the direction of the contour mimicking the original one, so it's easier to connect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes
And
sense.
this one, yeah, this one can stay where they are, but it needs to have a little bit of transition, because now we're seeing actually this is starting to get too flat. So switching one contour number might not be a bad idea. So making this one the 12. And then this is 11. If not switching, we have 14 over here. Yeah, not switching also works fine. So scratch that.
I actually did end up shifting them
Okay.
because my spacing was a little bit off in Adobe. Now that I'm in CAD, I realized that they're further apart than they should be,
Okay.
which ended up being kind of helpful because Stuart had suggested moving my swales around the building back a little bit.
Yeah.
So in my
Okay.
current model, my swale is like right at the end of the bus drop off starting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's going pretty well, I think.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I'm not sure if Stuart recommended this, having, yeah, I mean, actually, better to erase all this. It's easy to see. So your swell center line, if goes this direction,
Mm-hmm.
then that would, yeah, I can see your dilemma of whether or not to sway the contours back out.
Yeah, I had them going out and then coming. I had them going out, and then I think Stuart told me to connect the 8 back in when we had talked quick at the end of last class. But yeah, I'm not sure what your thoughts are on that because that makes a weird like loop at the side.
Definitely. Yeah, the swell pattern kind of get interrupted by the car drop off. And your car drop off seems to be located in a pretty steep area. Yeah, if I were to, yeah, I would actually go the route of moving the whole thing this direction. think it will be a better design that way. I can see why the intention was great, trying to create a big rain garden in the middle, but at the same time, it puts the car drop off in a pretty steep area, and we actually have some space in that entry drive area. Yeah, this is a good area to utilize than that one.
Okay. Yeah, I'll shift that over a little bit.
Yeah. Well, once you shift that over, you actually won't. I think the goal is to achieve a pattern where your swell does this thing. And then ideally, you would have your car drop off in that area.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm. Okay, so if we go to the back side, now your BFFE is 99.5. So you need to connect 99. Yeah, you need one more contour. So your last contour that's not moved is 99, right? This one is the last one, but there's a likelihood that this is flat. Oh, why did that? Yeah, there's a likelihood that this is less than 2%. So you just need to make sure that that's less than 25 feet. If it is not, then you need to move your 99 to wherever 25 foot is. Come on. If this is 25 foot away from the building out kind of exit, you just need to extend your wall that way. So I can scratch this portion of 99, and 98 will be the one that is original. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, so check to make sure it's 25 feet away from the building.
Yeah.
Or you want 25 feet or less?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. And then if not, extend the retaining wall to include 99.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Cool. Good. Last thing. Yeah, it's just to make sure everything hits the edge of the pavement before starting to curve.
Got it. Got it. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Sound good?
Yep. And should I keep the contour 13 in there? I think you had X's on it when I got notes from last class, and I wasn't sure what you meant, if that meant get rid of it completely or.
Yeah, to me, I think 13 doesn't need to be moved.
Okay.
But I can see, this your solution work. So that's a preference of what to change or what to not. Yeah,
Okay,
to me, I think the entry drive, the entry area was pretty steep originally, right? If by honoring that original slope characteristics, you actually can create more flat space for your parking lot, and to avoid that area to become too steep, for instance. So it's definitely a trade-off. I think as long as it works, we wouldn't have a problem with any other option. But I would try not to move as many contours at the entrance.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Alrighty. Okay, let's move forward. needs to be rotated. Yeah, I know, just so lazy. Okay, we have 133. I think this is Tyler.
Yep.
Are these contours right?
Yeah, I wasn't
Swell
sure if I
pattern near
pushed
the
them
front of
enough.
the building, correct. FFE seems reasonable. Slopes near my building acceptable.
Oh, I forgot to put the label. Yeah, the pavement's 2%. I forgot to put that label in. But
Yeah, this area is very similar to what I explained with Kristen there. If you don't need to go back to the road and change all the contours in between, then start
so I could stop
somewhere
earlier.
here. Yes, yeah.
So
yeah.
So I could probably just cut them off here and just stop all the contours around that area.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Okay. The first thing I would try to hit the building with your 8 earlier, so you don't have as many contours stacking there, and that's pretty steep. Okay.
Wait, say that again.
Your 8 would be hitting the building
Right
in the front
there.
instead. Yeah, that's your 8.
Oh wait, did I?
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay to hit the wall there.
Oh, so get rid of this and move it here.
Yeah,
Okay.
and also because you have pavement here. You have pavement here, so that area needs to be pretty flat. So
Oh, so just move it back a little
yeah,
bit, maybe.
that area. Yeah.
Okay, so wait, I have a question. So if I move that there instead of being here, because like I thought if I move it to this position, isn't that going to be draining water towards the building?
Well, no, because your center line is here. The center line of the swale is half. No, you divide that angle in half, right? That's your the swale where the water will go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is your swell center line on this side. So that part can be closer because now you're off pavement, and this part needs to stay further away. So you keep that area flat because it's paved. And then all the contours need to hit the wall in that angle so you don't have drainage toward your wall. Same thing over here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would keep the same distance of this one doing that.
So that's 7.
Yes, that's
7. Okay, so that's right.
That's 7.
Okay.
That's 7. And off beyond that, things can start to get pretty steep. Like that. Okay. So you have.
Well, what do you mean steep? As in, like, I thought it's 10% currently. Isn't that not?
No, I mean this area can start to get steep.
Okay.
It's off pavement. Okay.
Wait, that wouldn't be 10% because it's. Or, oh yeah, is that? Did I do those right?
20.
That's. Is that draining away correctly? On like where you're drawing
Right
those things
now,
right now?
your swell is actually draining onto your pavement. I would
It is.
I would not put walkway here because you
So like
encourage would yes you
stop it earlier, like right there or something.
exactly yes
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
You encourage people to get off where you design them to get off. So then you wouldn't need to sway your swell center line here too far away. So basically you try to do this. And I, again, would erase that one to try to correct the shape a little bit more. Come on. Okay. That one can, yeah, get back to normal
So
shape.
okay. And I thought so the way you have them drawn now, like that, how? I guess that is different. I thought that. Okay, I thought I had that at first,
You had it, but you
but then
had a
I had a
little one
tip.
more. Yeah,
Yeah, I
one
changed
more.
that because I thought, well, because that was the change I made. Because I had originally the way you have it, and then I thought I got the same comment that they was training in, so I changed it to be a little different. But okay, yeah, I can change it back though.
Yeah, you can see that there's only one way of water direction. If you have one more curve, then part of it would still drain to that direction, which is not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But I don't think that's that necessary to
Right.
create that micro topography there. Okay.
And you said my FFEs. Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, my FFEs are reasonable at least. I think. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
so I wouldn't see any as a problem right now. No, it might need to be adjusted, minor adjustment, but I don't think it's necessary at this point. And you have, we go through a number 13, 12, 10, 9, 8. So that's 8. So 8.5, yeah, it's fine. 80, 98.5.
Okay.
Where is your 98 contour? I think that needs to be, yeah, you still need to connect to your, so the 99 seems to be going, it's hard to see. That's 0. 98 is here. It needs to, yeah, it probably hit the wall. But then 98 needs to connect back. So this one needs to be the one, 97. Yeah, you have a few more that needs to be changed
Okay.
with your design here.
So 90. Yeah. Could you draw? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the issue is you have to have 98 connect out of your backyard, but this is 95. So 5, 6, 7, 8 are still conflicting with existing contours. That makes sense?
Yeah. So
that is 98.5 out of the backyard, right? Your next contour should be 98, which based on your location could be 98, could be here. 98 will be here, right? So if 98 is there, think about where the other, no, your 98 original is there, which is okay because you have a wall there. That's your original 98. But then how do you connect your 97? Yeah, so that's why your 97 needs to change.
okay. So I need to add 2 more
Yes,
filters.
yeah,
Okay.
until you don't have any conflict here anymore.
So it could be more.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, I think things look fine.
Yeah. So just to be clear, so that's the 8, and you said this is the 7. So you said to basically move that over. Okay. So am I really changing the I'm really just changing the location of this 8 here. The rest of
Yeah.
those will be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's,
Yeah, you can get in
yeah, I think that's
CAD.
it.
I think it's getting CAD will help you
Right.
kind of, yeah, space the contours correctly and see if there's any other issues.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Yeah. No,
yeah,
I
the
think
general
let me take a
pattern is there.
picture real
Should
quick.
work.
Snapshot.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Alrighty. Gonna clear everything here. Gonna move forward. Okay. 136. Could you please remind me who this is?
That's mine.
I'm still figuring out who was talking. I'm sorry.
Oh, Grace, sorry.
Hi, Grace. Okay, so let me zoom in here. I'm unsure of how to continue the park. Okay. FFE, God, da, da, da. So yeah, the swell pattern it's not out yet, and the contours, the 13 is very far away from the original 13. Yeah. Okay. So the first thing would be to identify a more proper starting contour number for your parking lot, right? So I think we sort of went through some of this with the other students. You would start from the 13 on the road, and then your current V-shaped angle seems pretty good. Seems would that yeah it would work, and then you could start off kind of measuring this distance between that and see how many contours that you can fit in. Basically, if it's about 200 feet, then you would have four contours in between, right? Can you do a quick measurement for me and see how far away that is?
Yeah, I can look. I think I have to look in CAD though, but I can look.
Yeah. See. 100 feet. That's 100 feet. So that's probably about 150. Okay, let's assume that's 150 because yeah, I just used that to eyeball. Well, maybe 200. Okay, 200. 200 it is. Well, we're estimating, okay? We're estimating. So what we can do is we can say 13. Oh, not eraser, please. 13 12, 11, 10. Yeah, might be too close. Is this 50? About 50?
Yeah, I think it's about 50, but I was
Okay.
just freehanding, so yeah.
Yeah, it's getting a little low, and which I believe we probably don't need to get so low, but it's okay. We'll just use this as an example. Okay. So we have 8, 9, 7, 6. Now is almost, it's about time to start swapping because you need that swale. Yeah, I think your distance is a little too close. So I'm just gonna try that. And then that's my, so start with this pattern by starting at 13 at the entry road, and then you're going to connect back again by these points, right? By those points. That one doesn't have a connection point, and I need to extend the other one. So 10 would be there, 7 would be there. Yeah, so those are where I need to connect back. Yeah, now 13 doesn't need to move. So depending on the situation, you would choose different direction to start connecting them. For instance, on this side, I would start with where the original contour is. On that side, I know based on experience with other students, I know there is a restriction, by this closed contour of 13. So what I would do is actually I would start with this 13. So the 13 can be changed up to that point. I may decide later on I don't need to cut off that that little contour there, but that seems to be my the narrowest, the point of constriction there, right? So that's on this side. I would probably start from not where 12 or 11 or 10 is on the side, but actually start offsetting the 12 so that I know, okay, 12 needs to stay 5 feet away from the 13. Then I would start connecting things like this, right? So I would start from this side. So that's kind of different ways. No, definitely it's not one time that I know. The first time I do this, I would know. No, you have to kind of explore a little bit and find out the best way to adjust things. For instance, for this side, I'm going to show one example of how to connect. Okay, so that's 13 originally. That's my 12. Now I can choose along this original contour to start connecting back to this point. But in order to minimize disturbance, I would choose the closest. However, I can get close to original contour, then I would probably just do this, right? Connect that. The 12 over here was informed by keeping it as close as possible to the 13, and then connect back to the 13 over here, 12 over here. That's the 12. So then the 11, I need to connect back to there, but at the same time form a divergent swell. So I keep, again, 5 foot away from my 12, and I look for where 11 is. My 11 is here, so I connect back to there. So that's basically how we connect these contours back to the original one. On this side, I would look for, okay, that's 11. That is where I could connect back to 11 without moving too much without moving. I wouldn't go back to 11 over there to start connecting, because now all these needs to be moved. So I look for wherever that's closest. Oh goodness, moving my, just, okay, better. I wouldn't go too far away to start looking for the connection point. I would actually look as close as possible. That's where I connect my 11. Okay, so those are two examples of how to connect the contours beyond the parking lot. I would recommend first fix the V-shaped contours, adding the swell in front of your building. Okay, the principle of the FFE, I kind of just showed Tyler and Kristen and other students. I would, after fix the V-shaped contour and adding the swale, I would encourage you to try to determine your BFFE based on that, and then determine how your retaining wall would work. Okay, try another draft, and then we can come back and talk about it. How does that sound?
That sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So again, these needs to hit the wall in this direction so that they don't direct water to your wall. Okay, that's the thing that I can see from here. Alrighty, we'll talk. We'll talk at the end of the review again. Okay, I'm gonna clear everything here. Yeah, and you may have all realized that very similar. Students have very similar questions, and by the time you watch the third or fourth review, likely you have all your questions answered. Hopefully that's the case, but we're definitely happy to answer if you have additional ones. Okay, we have student number. This is 140. 140 over here. Okay, can you remind me who this is? Is this Ruoyu's? You hear Ruoyu? Okay, let's. Yeah. You might have stepped away. Okay, we'll come back.
They said something in the chat to you.
Yeah, I think he said his mic's broken or something.
Okay. All right. Well, let me look at if you have. Oh, you don't have questions. I'll quickly give a review, and then if you have additional questions, feel free to send me the chat or email me. Okay. So let me double check if your base map was the one that. I'll see a base map correction here. Yeah, the base map needs to be revised. If you have received a base map from Stuart, definitely check if I have it here. Okay, let me open it up and see. Okay, cool. Yeah. Basically, the first thing that needs to be done is to follow Stuart's instructions on his base map correction file that was sent to you by the TAs, and make base map corrections. And the second thing would be extending the V-shaped contour pattern mostly on your parking lot, because that's the flat space that needs to be applying the V-shaped contour to achieve a 2% slope. Now I see most of it is actually on your bus drop-off. Definitely your bus drop-off would need that, but it's the parking lot that's more critical. And I would recommend moving this off the steep slope. Okay, you have quite a lot of space in between. Yes, you do need green area to treat the water, but you can see that your current green area is actually on the ridge. Everything is draining to your parking lot, so it's not receiving any water anyway. So that means that green area, it's likely not going to be functional in terms of receiving stormwater. So that can be shrinked, and then your parking lot can be placed on a flatter area. And yeah, this is the front. That's the back plaza. Okay, not front plaza. Yeah, some catch up would need to be done. There are two ways, Royu, that you can proceed. You can try to apply the V-shaped contour, to I know this, I understand this is quite late in your time zone at this point, but if if this is your time schedule anyway, if you want to work during class time and get a review, I would not do the base map corrections right now. I would actually, clear. I would actually apply that pattern and make it cross your parking lot just like that. I would use this as a practice for connecting to original contour. So for instance, if you have this contour at 12, for instance, how do I make them connect? I just use this base map to connect and then come back for another review by the end of the group review, and then we can check if you have obtained the understanding of how to connect to those contours to form the full draft. Okay, if that's your plan for today, I would recommend doing that. If you would rather make the base map corrections first, I would definitely do that. I realize that's probably not the last time we asked you to change your base map, and this applies to everybody. Okay, we'll constantly make you make changes, but structurally, I think this one has some major issues, and that definitely needs to be changed in the short term. So then you can make base map corrections, and you definitely just need to seek additional help of class. Okay, I require you to schedule an office hour with either me or Stuart. Again, my office hour timing is actually really good for your time zone. So you please, after you make the base map corrections, come talk to us. Okay, that's
Yeah,
my quick review.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Professor, sorry. Just actually my laptop was broken, and I do this base map correction, but it's all on my old laptop, and I just sent my laptop to the store to fix it today. So all my work, including the GIS and the CAD work, is there. So I'm currently using my pad to join the course. So I just try to fix my Mac problem, and now I can talk to you. So this project is I downloaded from the canvas, so that's the old version. So I just did all the work last night. So this seems really just I need to do a lot of things to try to fix it. So I maybe join the office hour and doing some correction. I will use class time to do that. And but since tomorrow I will use my home computer to do that. So I don't know if that's okay. I already checked the base map that Stuart sent to me, and yes, I still got to fix the base map problem first, and then talk about maybe the drainage work. Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. We look forward to talking to you again next week. Yeah, I know some setbacks are hard when you have computer problems, but yeah. Okay, that's this one. We will move forward to the next student. Okay. Somehow this time, almost all drawings are in the portrait. Okay, this is by Liney, if you're here.
How we doing, Wuhan?
David?
How we doing?
Hey, pretty good. How about yourself?
I can't complain too much.
Can't complain. That's the right spirit. That's the point. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look at your comments here. I'll answer later. Just how much rely? Oh, okay. How much can we rely on curbs to act as drainage swales, if you will? Is there a max length for there where water should be able to escape into? Yes, you need to cut holes along the curbs and divide, because you have a slope, right? The site is sloped, and when a site is sloped, when you have a garden that is sloped, is actually going to shoot water downstream if that slope is too steep. So our actually goal is to create terraced gardens. So offering time for water to slow down, to infiltrate, or no, at least to be stalled, temporarily stored there before it shoot downstream. So definitely, yeah, later on we'll use curbs to create stepped terraced gardens along the way on the side of the parking lot. And definitely in some of your green islands as well. So I can see, yeah, some areas improvement in terms of, that can hit here. And so this area can be relatively uniform, and that one would not be too steep. No, yeah, I can see you have a stairs in this area, and then yeah, you already started to figure out the ramp. That's a good thing. The contours will need to hit the wall more in that manner. See. Okay, that's how you connect back. 13, 12, okay. Yeah, there's only just a tiny little issue right there.
Yeah, I did this with my mouse and was sleep deprived and on too much coffee. So if the lines aren't exactly right.
So it's not not right. It can be improved. How do we improve this area is basically we rotate your contour a little bit toward that direction. Like I suggested to, can't remember exactly whom, but you can see you're making a long connection in this direction to connect back, right? But if we basically rotate it to this direction, then my connection wouldn't need to be that long anymore. And I'm actually not going, in this corner, you can see some of the water is going directly into your parking lot instead, which is not a big issue. But once you rotate it, you'll find creating that swell easier. That makes sense?
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah. What else? You don't necessarily need a swell here. This is actually your prime area to treat water, because you can see that your contour is basically in this direction. Get to the right color. Contour is in this direction, at least for this part. then some of the water, yeah, you're not receiving a lot of parking lot water though. So if you would like, you would actually switch your ridge line, so more of the water would actually go to the green area here. Does that make sense? So then you can have more water getting to your green area there. If this green area is close to a ridge, you're not likely going to intercept the water, right? Because you're not downstream. You're actually on the ridge. It drains to other areas instead of receiving water from other area. So that's something that you could think about. There are a few contours that are not connected in this left side. So we're missing this one. And yeah, so 99, 97. Okay, so that works. Okay, that's 6, 5. Well, I think you have a pretty good first draft. It can have some improvements in terms of the V, where the ridge line is, and the angle of the V. But otherwise, I think looking good.
Awesome, thank you. And I already got the picture, so.
Cool. Goody. Okay. Let's move forward. We have, that's a, for the last one. Okay. This is Julia's, right?
Yes.
Hi, Julia.
Hi.
Okay. Oop. Take a look at your questions here. Come on. Not showing for some reason. Oh, appropriate DI locations. We're not yet at that phase yet, but I can very quickly explain where the DI should be. The DI should be at dead corners where it can't go anywhere unless you have a drain inlet there. Okay, for instance, in terms of the parking lot, you would have a DI there in that dead corner, there in the lowest point, there in the island corner. So wherever there is the kind of the lowest point where water has nowhere to go, that's where your DI should be. Okay, next thing. Location so on the right and ramp work together. Should I switch stairs and ramp? Your stairs, where is your stairs? It's hard to, yeah, it's kind of hard.
I believe my stairs are on the right side of the building.
Okay, that's the stairs. I don't think your ramp is long enough. Your ramp needs to be 200 feet. And at this stage, we only ask you to put a 200 feet long on the landscape, and indicating how it's connected in terms of space. Don't worry about its grading yet, because so many things will be changed. Things will be changed, and working on that fine detail at this point would be counterproductive. So at this point, we'll just need to put a 200 feet long ramp somewhere.
So where does it, so just anywhere, like, does it matter where it starts, or, I mean, I guess it has to end at the lower plaza, but like,
The
Like
design, yeah,
where?
it connects the front plaza with the back plaza.
Okay.
It runs on the slope on either side. Yeah. Do we create boundaries for upper and lower? Oh, move this out. Okay. Boundary for upper and lower plazas. We need spot elevations for these. Yes, you need to outline where your back plaza and front plaza is, and include key elevations for the corners. And you don't need to calculate everything. You just need to calculate the critical ones. Okay. So I would say always remember grading is also design. Think about grading how the space works and feels. Is it comfortable? Is it easy for people to see their destination? The ADA ramp, is it very clear where people need to go once they get out of the ADA parking lot, right? So all those design considerations needs to be incorporated as well in this grading plan. In terms of grading, let's take a look. I cannot see very well the contour numbers. So if you can help me with the numbering of things, that'd be awesome. This is, what's the number of this one?
I would have to look on my other computer first.
Okay. Seems like this is 12, but I cannot be sure. 11, maybe 10. This is 10.
I think it might be 10. It's
Yeah,
either 10 or 11.
Yeah, that should be 10 because you're connecting to the thick line there. So it seems like things are stacking here. Is there a way to, yeah, rotating your contours in this direction would help with reducing that stacking, because you can see now we're moving your connection points from here to there. So that means you have fewer, you're getting closer. By rotating the V, you're getting closer to your original contours in that area. Okay, so you drew it. Now, just by doing that, you can actually see my 10 can connect like that. My 11 can connect like that. Okay. This side, the other side seems okay. Doesn't seem like it's creating a lot of moving of original contours. No, now your 11 would be somewhere like this. It's kind of staying where they were. 12, no, 12 was there, so maybe just do that. Yeah, okay, so that would help with some of the, help to reduce some of the contour. Not this one, that line. Up there, and we have a sweater, and yeah, then I can actually start that here, and yeah, we can keep moving downstream, but now realize, yes, we're in a landscape area now, so things can stay closer to each other. That's the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. 5 would actually be here. And then I would have a closed 5 just to reduce that area. That's another 5. Then my 4 don't need to move on the other side. My 4 can be the first one that I connect back there. Okay. So I'm seeing a lot of movement over here as well. Thinking if there's a way to make it better. 7. So that might be 7.5. Or yeah, might be 7.5. So the backyard would be 97.5. So I'm looking for 97 to connect. Yeah, I would recommend to extend the wall. So this area doesn't need to be that steep. Change the color. Five is over here. That's 7. So where's the 7? Oh, okay, 7 is over there. 6, 5. Yeah, you should be able to get back to. For the lower ones, I think you might be able to just do that without changing this area, but because I can't see very well, so you might have to try that out. So your 97 would actually be the first one out of, yeah, this one would be, the 97 here would be the first one that's actually staying where they are. 0. Yeah, that's 0. What's happening? 0, 9, 8, 7. Okay. So hopefully I'm doing it correctly. But that should be your 7. That's going back to original contour. It doesn't need to be moved. The one should be 97. Yeah, it's likely. Oh, scratch that. $97 is over here. And 97 is some, no, sorry, I just can't see very well here. Okay, if this is 97 original, that's how long your wall needs to be. Because your 97 is over somewhere over here, out of the parking, out of the backyard. 96 will be the one that's staying where it was. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, cool. Anything else that you want to talk about?
I think I understand. I don't.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds good. Alrighty, good. Okay, let me clear all this and move to the next one. We have one more. I think this is Stephanie's. Stephanie? Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Hi. Alrighty. 14 contour seems off. Should I continue the swell pattern beyond the drop off? You don't necessarily have to. The drop off needs to be once later on, once we put the curve in, it will be you actually have an outlet. Then that would go to a garden in this flat area actually. Yeah. So once you get out of that outlet, the water would be directed here. So you will be expecting some contour change later on to try to accommodate all those gardens.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm trying to look through to see if there is. So you went back to 14, 13, 10. This is 10, 9, 7, 6. Is that right? 5 is getting back. Oh, there's something off there. That's 12. Okay. 10, 9, 8. Yeah, some you would need more contour change in this area, and we're keeping the 5. So you need to close the 5. Oh no, not yet, not yet. So I actually would recommend shifting some things. Your yeah, I'm still deciding whether or not I would recommend shifting things.
Yeah,
Look.
I think I tried to do a 13, where the 14 is now,
Mhm.
and it was like really tight on the bottom, and I had like so
Yeah.
many contours.
So the 13 actually needs to connect back here. Oh, okay. I see what you. Yeah, you actually
Yeah,
got rid of that 13 there. Basically connect all the way.
because of the road, I wasn't sure.
Yeah. 14. Now, once you move that one, you can see that your 14 and 15, the area between this area will be pretty flat. Ah, wrong direction. That's over 50 feet. That's why I was thinking if we can shift one contour, that may not be a bad thing. Now making the 14 actually the 13. So basically, let me erase that. What I'm trying to test is whether it makes sense to have 14 still right there. Oh, that's my 14. That's my 13. Didn't erase everything, huh? That's my 13. And my 12 actually goes here.
Like move the ridge line?
Well, that does make it a. Let me think. Okay, not necessarily. Yep, I don't want to do that. I think the ridge line looks well. Let me try some things. So if that's the 12, my 13 needs to go. Yeah, actually my 13 doesn't have anything to do with the parking lot and everything. The 13 was here. It doesn't need to change. And then I could just basically go back to my original 13. Yeah, 14 doesn't need to change either. So that becomes my 12. Okay, now I see. Yeah, 13 needs to be dragged up a little bit, not too much.
Does the road affect the grading? Like when I put the road there, should I?
Yeah,
If
you
there's
can
changes
change the
made.
road. Yeah, you can change the road. So now we have 11 goes like this. And 12 actually needs to wrap back. So I'll just scratch this. 12 be like this, and then going back to the 12 over here. And your 11 would do something like that. Your 10, keep going. And 9, do this. Okay, so yeah, that way you actually you don't have a huge change, but you wouldn't have too flat of a space in the roadway area. Okay.
Wait, I think the 13 contour goes straight down next to 14 though. The existing
Yeah.
one? Or am I not?
Originally it was. Yeah, originally the 14 doesn't need to change.
And 13
That's
is
okay. Yeah.
okay.
Because no, the 13 and 14 originally was very close together,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
If you would like to change, no, you want to change that localized area, you could do something, but you don't necessarily have to.
Okay.
You could say, I want to change my 13 over here. That's totally fine as well. But because originally the topo at the entry was those contours are very close, and it's not actually exceeding the maximum allowed so for a road entry.
Okay.
So I wouldn't worry too much about it. But that, yeah, if you would like to say, oh, I want to try to smooth it out a little bit, we can definitely do minor changes there. Oh, yeah, like this. Even it out.
Mm.
Yeah, even it out like that.
Okay.
So that was okay. So if we look at the other areas, this is an area that you need to look further, just to make sure these are not conflicting with each other, right? They're overlapping right now. Some of them, the say 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. The 6, yeah, the 6 needs to be moved. Original 6 needs to be moved there.
And it needs to be moved like
Yeah.
further, or
right now it's still overlapping with the.
oh, okay, I see.
Yes, yeah. So that's that.
Should I lead it back into the retaining wall, or
Yes, yeah.
okay.
So this one would go
Yeah.
back to here.
Okay.
Your 5 would go back to there. Okay. Yeah, same thing, the angle. Yeah. Okay, that one, once it's off, you can return back to the wall sooner,
Okay.
because now you're on the vegetated area.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else?
The swale that you mentioned on the bottom left next to the
Yeah.
vegetation.
Yeah.
Is it like really tight space? 'Cause I watched the crits and I don't know if I have
Could
enough
be,
space.
yeah, you could be. Since you still have some space, I would say get rid of that. Okay, that seems, yeah, I don't think you need that sidewalk. Not going to be, oh, in this case, your sidewalk here is actually, there's gonna be people using it because your site, your view direction, when people get out of the car, they are actually going to go this direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they are going to actually use that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So scratch that. Oh. Keep the sidewalk there. How can you make some space? I think there's likely going to be a little bit of space in this area where you can move over.
Push everything up. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, not a lot of room though. You are likely not going to be needing too much space, so offset these contours using the minimum distance allowed and see how much space you
Okay.
need. Yeah. Eventually, oh, okay. What can be done is actually you flip your parking lot like this. Instead of curving this direction, you can curve the other direction because the flat space is in this area anyway. So that you could try that if you still cannot make enough space after you check that contour interval. Okay, that could be a way.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can see I'm curving the drop off. It's curving like this. If I curve my parking lot in the other direction, I am making space.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's it. Thank you.
That's it. Good. Alrighty. Anybody else in the group that have come up with further questions? If not, we will return to the main room.
I actually do. I just wanted to. I have 2 questions. Maybe I could just share my screen.
Yeah.
There it is. Move this over. Okay. So I just made the quick changes. And I was just curious if I made enough changes to the back. I added 3 contours here at the back. Is that sufficient? I'm not sure if that's sufficient enough, I guess. That's my question.
I think once you get into your CAD, you'll find out that you're probably too close together in terms of the contours. I don't know because I haven't checked the distance.
Okay,
But
they're
yeah,
well, if I'm trying to do, I think, at least 5 feet.
I would say you have space. You have space. So once you get into CAD, try to space them out and again angle them.
So okay, angle them and then so I forget how do I know? You told me yesterday or like the previous day. When do I stop? Like, how do I know when to stop over here with the
Here we talked about this being 97, right?
Is that 90?
So this is 8.5.
Wait, why is that
98, 98, 98. So you have this. So the last one is actually 98. Last one, 98 being here.
Ooh, okay. So this 98 should actually come over there. Or I guess it'd
So
be
the
more like
90,
this. So go to not to 99, 98. So 99 can stay like relatively on the wall right there, but then this 98 has to go all the way over here, which means these contours after it will change. Is that what you're saying
not
essentially?
really, because of your wall design. Because of your wall design. So what you do is you measure 25 feet. Okay, measure 25 feet, and then that's your 98.
25 feet. Okay.
Okay, because the reason for measuring 25 is this is 98.5, and we're looking for where 98 is. So that's why we measure 25 feet to find out where 98 is, right? And because you have a wall design, which is totally fine, you want to form that space, right? So your 98 right now is over here. It will be hitting the wall like that, which is totally fine.
98. Okay.
98 is over here. Oh,
what did I do? Did I do something?
try not to move.
I don't know what I did. Here, let me just.
Yeah, if you can just drag it back to the wall.
No, come on. I don't know what I did.
Yeah, turn back to you. You, good. We're getting there.
Right there.
Move down a little bit more. Down the other direction.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, try to match my this
I don't know if I. Oh wait,
to
here.
the
Maybe
retaining
if I
wall.
move.
That's okay. No, we can start over. That's fine.
Sorry. No.
Just to clear.
Okay.
So
Sorry about that.
you understand now why we're looking for 98, right?
So 25
this
feet.
Is, yes,
Right.
this
Okay.
is 98, and this number will change. Okay, this number will change
Yeah.
depending on the fine calculation. But I want to show
Which will happen
kind
in
of
the
process
next
here.
I guess part of the
Yeah.
project, I guess. Okay.
So 98 originally was here. It can remain there. It can remain there, and 98 was originally here. It can also remain there, hitting the wall. Okay, but your 97 now would need to be changed so that it will, because 97 hits the wall. The original 97 hits the wall also. So now I would want to try to move 97, the portion, the 97 in this area out, so it can connect back to the original 97.
Okay, so just extend the pavement. Okay.
Yes. Now that 96, depending on where 97 is, would probably need to keep moving again a little bit. And your 95, just a tiny little bit until it gets back to 94. I don't think 94 needs to move.
Okay, so basically around 95-ish is a good start, at least.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
let's move 90. Oh wait, no. 96. Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Picture. Okay. Wait, I think what was my other? I had one more question. Dang it. And what was it?
No worries. No,
Yeah,
you
I
can
guess
always
I
address
had
them later.
something, but
Yeah, when
yeah.
it comes back to you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta-
So so in between here was my entrance plaza. I realize now that that seems like, well, I had does the entrance plaza have to be a what's it called pavement? I guess paved area.
No, it doesn't need to be. No,
Okay.
it's up to you.
Okay, so I could make it. Yeah, because this right now, I guess it makes it more sense
Yeah,
being because
you
this is a really
encourage
large
cut
space.
holes.
Yeah, large space to be just all impervious. So I guess I could probably come up with some kind of. I was just kind of, I guess, wondering if I wanted to. So this is if I want to make some kind of rain garden-esque space in between the building. Would it make sense to put it here, or would that not work with the contours, or would I have to change everything
So
significantly that it would just make it
you don't need to change the
difficult?
contour significantly. No, the 1 foot contour would not need to to take major changes to make that happen. But thinking about that in this stage is actually helpful. No, you would have a swell. You would have a swell center line somewhere in the plaza, right? Have a swell center line there. Think about where is the location to put the garden that would intercept the most water. It's definitely as low in elevation as possible because water will flow and in that direction. And this is, for instance, this would be the edge of the pavement where it's the lowest point, is it's receiving the most water, right? So if I put, for instance, a garden here, there's really not much water that will flow into it.
Mm,
But if I put a garden somewhere, there, then I would be intercept a lot of water. All this would
okay,
flow into
so
it, right?
basically everything. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Basically, all that area is its drainage area.
And then up to
So
like here, I
yes,
guess, for this side.
right. Yeah. So lower in the plaza, would be able to receive more water from the plaza itself,
So
but other areas can be used as well, right?
what would
So
happen?
if I were to cut a hole here and I put a runnel, that could be where the rain from the roof can come down
Making what?
and be treated there.
What
No,
would-
if you cut holes here, make a garden close to your building,
Mhm.
those can be where the roof water can be collected.
So
So
but I wouldn't need to just do any specific grading for that. I would just kind of, mark that just as a symbol, I guess. Right?
at the
Or-
minimum, we wanted to design a garden in this area along the let me clear. So in this area, yes, at the minimum, we would want the rain gardens along the swell line to be graded. If you want to take the extra challenge to create more gardens and grade them out, we welcome that, but it's not required that you do that.
Okay. But
Okay?
you're saying there would have to be more
There
done to
could be
the.
more. Yeah, there could be more that can be done in the front plaza area. And
Okay.
we have students, opting for a design with a lot of pavements, but it can be pervious pavement, right? They if they want to design more event space in terms of green space, that's their choice. If
Okay,
you
so-
only design a pathway system, for instance, for the front of the building, that's totally fine. You wouldn't have so much impervious areas to treat in the first place. But if you want to design a big plaza, then the holes will be necessary because you are creating that big paved space,
Mhm.
right? Yeah. So there is flexibility in terms of how you design your front and the back. Yeah.
And then, so I think I'm not sure if it was you who said it or one of the TAs that said don't worry about the side doors, just get rid of them essentially.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, that
that's
was.
a good way to put it.
And then I guess the last thing was just about I was measuring the 200 feet for the ramp.
Mhm.
I think I'm like missing like 33 feet. Should I'm wondering what the best, I guess it's something I should just figure out. Never mind. I can just.
Yeah, you basically need to lengthen it. Find a way to increase the length. If it's not on the side, then you can start early, but that means your ramp would probably be lower than the rest of your plaza. So that could become an interesting design. I would not discourage that yet. But at this stage, we just want you to think about the design at the same time, make it 200 feet long.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, not think about the grading yet.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. No. That's what I was thinking. Mine's just not even 200 feet right now. Like from here
Yeah.
to here, it's not even 200 yet. So I need to go make sure that's 200. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Share.
Okay. How are we ready to return to the main room? If so, feel free to do so. Okay.